What do we got for housing provider tip of the week?
All right. So housing provider tip of the week, it's mid-November right now and it just got cold. Anyone listening to this, you'll remember this weekend, it got really cold and windy in 30s for multiple days in a row. And one of the issues we always have this time of year is with our boiler buildings where, if you have a 2 flat, 4 flat, 6 flat, 12 flat, you have a boiler that services every unit, but you have sensors around the building that gauges the temperature. And sometimes those sensors are off. Maybe a sensor's not working. But you have people calling up and saying that there's not enough heat. Now, the problem you run into in a traditional house, you have a thermostat and you could tell them to take a picture of the thermostat, but you're not 100% sure. And you don't want to run over there every time. So one thing we started doing a couple of years ago was there's these little, and we could link to this in the show notes. There's these little, call it temperature gauges. They're very small and they're very cheap. They're only a couple bucks that we've been sharing with our boiler building tenants when we know there's going to be an issue. That way they could kind of put them around the room. They're probably about the size of 2 fortune cookie fortunes, like on top of each other. I don't know why that was my thought to compare size wise, but that's about that size, and they can put them in there and it tells the temperature, and that helps us understand where we have a true problem, because cold to somebody might not be cold to based on the city law that we follow. So we're trying to make sure we're not running over there a million times trying to guesswork. And sometimes we'll even do like the little $24 heat guns as well too, just if we really want to zone in on temperature for a particular unit. So the tip basically is if you have a building and you have a bunch of this time of year, people, saying it's too hot, too cold, you're maybe not sure if your sensor working, send them. You could just send them on Amazon. We sent a bunch out yesterday and today that will get there tonight, tomorrow, where these people can put them in their room and report back and take a picture of that to us. So it helps versus having to run over there a million times. Or what mistake we used to make was sending the furnace guy over there right away. And that's usually $100, $200 whack right away. So
yeah. No, Jeff has the same things, and I mean, they're basically the cost. He was showing them; they're basically the cost of like the batteries. Like they're very inexpensive.
That would have been a better comparison. They're about the size of 2 AA batteries on top of each other. That's about the size they are.
Yeah. Just another note too. Understand if you do have to take a temperature, if you're getting into a situation with a tenant where they're complaining about heat and you guys are at a difference, just understand the Chicago heat ordinance. If you're in the city, right? Where do you have to take it from? I believe it's 3 feet from exterior wall or window, but just do yourself a favor. They have a summary of that on the page, so you know what you are legally responsible to do, and you don't miss any of that.
Yeah, we'll link to that in the show notes. But we actually use those rules for the entire Chicagoland area. So the suburbs, for the most part, do not have similar regulations. So it's just a good kind of baseline to go by, no matter where you're at in the Chicago market.